What if I told you that becoming a millionaire in just 12 months isn't some fantasy reserved for lottery winners or trust fund babies, but actually a systematic process that thousands of ordinary people have cracked? While everyone else is setting New Year's resolutions to lose 10 pounds or read more books, I'm about to walk you through the exact blueprint I would use to generate $1 million in net worth within the next 365 days. And before you click away thinking this is another get-rich-quick scheme, let me be crystal clear. This isn't about crypto gambling, pyramid schemes, or selling courses about selling courses. This is about leveraging proven business principles, strategic thinking, and relentless execution in a way that most people are simply too scared or too comfortable to attempt. The harsh reality is that most people will never become millionaires because they fundamentally misunderstand what creating wealth actually requires. They think it's about getting a better job, investing in the stock market, or cutting back on their daily coffee. Those strategies might make you financially stable over 30 years, but they won't make you a millionaire in 12 months. What I'm about to share with you is a completely different approach, one that requires you to think like an entrepreneur, act like an investor, and execute like someone whose life depends on it. Let me start by destroying the biggest myth about wealth creation, the idea that you need money to make money. This limiting belief keeps millions of people trapped in mediocrity because they're waiting for some magical moment when they'll have enough capital to start. The truth is, the most explosive wealth creation happens when you have nothing to lose and everything to prove. Some of the fastest millionaires I know started with less than $1,000 and a burning obsession to change their circumstances. The foundation of my 12-month millionaire strategy rests on three non-negotiable pillars: speed, scale, and systems. Speed means we're not building a lifestyle business that might pay off in 5 years. We're creating something that generates massive cash flow immediately. Scale means we're not trading time for money like a freelancer or consultant. We're building something that can grow exponentially without our direct involvement. Systems means we're creating predictable, repeatable processes that continue working even when we're sleeping. Month 1 through 3 would be entirely focused on market research and rapid prototyping. Most aspiring entrepreneurs waste months or even years perfecting their idea before testing it with real customers. This is backwards thinking that kills momentum and burns through resources. Instead, I would spend exactly 30 days identifying a massive problem that affects millions of people and that they're already paying money to solve poorly. The key is finding pain points where existing solutions are expensive, complicated, or simply don't work well. I would look specifically for problems in 3 categories: time savers, money makers, or pain removers. Time savers help people accomplish tasks faster or more efficiently. Money makers help people increase their income or reduce their expenses. Pain removers solve frustrating problems that keep people awake at night. The intersection of these categories is where million-dollar opportunities hide in plain sight. During month 2, I would create the most basic version of my solution and start selling it immediately. Not a perfect product, not a polished service, just the minimum viable version that solves the core problem. This is where most people get stuck because they're perfectionists who want everything to be flawless before they launch. But perfection is the enemy of progress, and progress is the enemy of poverty. I would rather have a mediocre product that's making money than a perfect product that's still in development. The goal in month 2 isn't to build something beautiful. It's to prove that people will actually pay for what you're offering. This means pre-selling the product before it's finished, taking orders for services before you've fully developed your processes, or creating a waiting list of people who want to buy what you're building. Revenue is the ultimate validation that you're on the right track. Month 3 would be dedicated to rapid iteration based on customer feedback. Every complaint, every suggestion, every refund request is valuable data that tells you exactly how to improve your offering. Most entrepreneurs take feedback personally and get defensive when customers criticize their baby. But smart entrepreneurs understand that customer complaints are free consulting advice that shows you exactly how to build something people actually want to buy. By the end of month 3, you should have a proven concept that people are willing to pay for, initial revenue coming in, and clear feedback on how to make your offering even better. This is also when you need to make the most important decision of the entire 12-month journey. Are you building something that can scale to $1 million, or do you need to pivot to a bigger opportunity? Months 4 through 6 are all about scaling operations and building systems. This is where the real magic happens because you transition from being a person who sells things to being a person who owns a business that sells things. The difference is enormous. When you sell things personally, your income is limited by how many hours you can work. When you own a business that sells things, your income is limited only by market demand and your ability to fulfill that demand. During month 4, I would focus entirely on systematizing my sales process. This means creating scripts, templates, and workflows that allow other people to generate the same results I was getting personally. Whether you're selling products or services, there's a systematic approach to identifying prospects, generating interest, handling objections, and closing deals. Once you document and refine this system, you can teach it to other people and multiply your revenue without multiplying your time investment. Month 5 would be dedicated to building fulfillment systems. If you're selling products, this means optimizing your supply chain, inventory management, and shipping processes. If you're selling services, this means creating standard operating procedures, training materials, and quality control checklists that ensure consistent delivery regardless of who's doing the work. The goal is to remove yourself from the day-to-day operations so you can focus on strategy and growth. Month 6 is when you start building your team. Most entrepreneurs try to do everything themselves for far too long because they think they can't afford to hire people. But the reality is, you can't afford not to hire people if you want to scale quickly. The key is hiring for specific tasks and outcomes rather than hiring full-time employees right away. You can find freelancers, contractors, and part-time specialists who can handle specific parts of your business while you focus on the activities that generate the most revenue. Months 7 through 9 represent the acceleration phase where everything you've built starts compounding. This is when your systems are working smoothly, your team is handling operations, and you can focus entirely on growth activities. Most people never reach this phase because they get comfortable with their initial success and stop pushing for exponential growth. But comfortable is the enemy of wealthy. During month 7, I would focus on expanding my market reach through strategic partnerships and joint ventures. Instead of trying to find more customers through advertising, I would identify businesses that already serve my target market and create mutually beneficial relationships. This could mean affiliate partnerships, cross-promotions, or revenue-sharing agreements that allow me to tap into established customer bases without the cost and complexity of building my own audience from scratch. Month 8 would be dedicated to geographic or demographic expansion. If my product or service is working well with one type of customer, there are almost certainly other types of customers who have similar problems and would benefit from similar solutions. This might mean adapting my offering for different industries, different age groups, or different geographic markets. The key is leveraging the systems and processes I've already developed rather than starting from scratch in each new market. Month 9 is when I would start preparing for exponential scaling by securing additional resources. This might mean raising capital from investors, securing lines of credit, or reinvesting profits to build inventory or infrastructure. The goal is to remove any constraints that might limit growth during the final 3 months of the journey. Months 10 through 12 are the sprint to the finish line. This is when everything needs to work perfectly because there's no time left for major course corrections. The foundation has been laid, the systems are proven, the team is in place, and now it's all about execution at the highest level. Month 10 would focus on maximizing revenue from existing customers through upsells, cross-sells, and retention programs. The most profitable sale is always the second sale to an existing customer because they already trust you and understand the value you provide. This might mean creating premium versions of your core offering, complementary products or services, or subscription models that generate recurring revenue. Month 11 is about optimizing every aspect of your business for maximum profitability. This means analyzing your numbers ruthlessly and eliminating anything that doesn't contribute directly to the bottom line. It also means doubling down on the activities and strategies that are generating the highest returns. This is not the time for experimentation or trying new things. This is the time for doing more of what's already working. Month 12 is the final push where you deploy every resource and strategy at your disposal to maximize results. This might mean launching a major marketing campaign, securing large enterprise contracts, or executing strategic acquisitions that immediately boost your revenue and net worth. Throughout this entire 12-month journey, there are several critical success factors that determine whether you reach the $1 million milestone or fall short. The first is maintaining absolute clarity on your financial goals and tracking your progress religiously. You need to know exactly where you stand financially at all times and what specific actions you need to take to stay on track. The second critical factor is speed of decision-making and execution. In a 12-month timeline, there's no luxury of endless analysis and planning. You need to gather the minimum amount of information necessary to make a decision, make it quickly, and adjust course based on results. Perfection is the enemy of progress, and analysis paralysis will kill your momentum. The third factor is your willingness to take calculated risks and push beyond your comfort zone. Playing it safe might preserve what you have, but it won't get you to $1 million in 12 months. You need to be willing to invest significant time, energy, and resources into opportunities that have the potential for massive returns, even if they also carry the risk of significant losses. The fourth critical factor is your ability to stay focused and avoid shiny object syndrome. There will be countless distractions and new opportunities that seem appealing during your 12-month journey. But chasing multiple opportunities simultaneously is a guarantee that you'll achieve mediocre results in all of them, instead of exceptional results in one of them. The final factor is your commitment to continuous learning and adaptation. The business landscape changes rapidly, and what worked in month 1 might not work in month 12. You need to stay informed about industry trends, customer preferences, and competitive dynamics while remaining flexible enough to adjust your strategy when necessary. Let me be absolutely clear about something. This 12-month millionaire path is not easy, it's not guaranteed, and it's not for everyone. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and an almost obsessive commitment to your goal. You'll work longer hours than your friends, you'll miss social events, and you'll face setbacks that would convince most people to quit. But for those who are truly committed to changing their financial circumstances, this represents the fastest legal path from wherever you are now to millionaire status. The choice is yours. You can continue doing what you've always done and hope that somehow things will change, or you can embrace the systematic approach I've outlined and transform your financial future over the next 12 months. The strategies are proven, the timeline is achievable, and the only question remaining is whether you have the courage to begin.